Shalom, and I start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders grand millstone. Salutations to those who let this pushing truth across four corners of the earth, all fake truth and sincerity. This I'm wanna buy back again sitting. Just wanna go to this article from the Independent. Excuse me. This article I ran into from the Independent. Going about the World Health Organization. About nuclear war. About preparing for nuclear war. Excuse me. So I'm getting into it. It said WHO, which is the World Health Organization, officials admitted they are preparing for possible nuclear weapon use in Iran. It says the World Health Organization staff remain vigilant in the event of nuclear incident. Officials at the World Health Organization have admitted that they are preparing for a worst-case scenario. Nuclear threat is the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran escalates. If the U.S. and Israeli war with Iran escalates, Hannah Blackia, something like that, Balkia, something like that, WHO regional director for the Eastern Mediterranean, said the staff remain vigilant for a nuclear incident following President Donald Trump's decision to bomb Iran in joint campaign with Israel. The worst case scenario is a nuclear incident, and that's something that worries us the most. Balkla, something like that, told Politico, as much as we prepare, there's nothing that can prevent the harm that will come the region's way and globally if this eventually happens. And the consequences are going to last for decades. I say that, so the throwing, it's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? World War III, the missiles going to fly. And like I say, she said this could last, this nuclear war is going to, the fire and the smoke, from it, the radiation and all this it's going to last a while, before it clears all up, But reading on, the officials told the outlet that, the officials told the outlet that United Nations staff are preparing for an incident in its border sense, including if there was an attack on a nuclear facility or the use of a weapon. We are thinking about it, and we're just really hoping that it does not happen. Balkila added, if I'm saying it correctly. Excuse me if I'm not saying that right. It said in the wake of bombing campaign in the Middle East, the WHO is refreshing staff on how to respond to an event of nuclear incident and providing guidance about long-term health risks like radiation exposure. Like I said, like I just said, those missiles begin to be shot. Which, like I said, Lawyer Yahushua is in control of, those missiles being, shot. But once they get shot, and those that do, the ones that really gonna survive there is the ones that gonna be in those bunkers. And like I said, they're gonna be the elites, the bankers. The ones, they already really preparing for that now. Or been preparing for it. To go underground on a bunker. Once that happens. Because most people that here, especially here in America, Babylon Green is not gonna survive that thermonuclear missiles. And the wrath and judgment that Lord Yahweh Shai, gonna come down when he returns in the chariot, which is so-called UFO, with the angels, the only ones that really gonna go is really gonna survive is those those elites, the ones in power. They gonna go hide, they're gonna go hide under in their bunkers, but they ain't gonna get away, from their judgment. Like I said, they gonna go into slavery, But let's see. Let's see some more. It's some more on this, but let me see. It's some more on this, but I just to get to the point of that, the World Health Organizations are, they admit that they're preparing for possible nuclear weapon use in Iran. So, World War III will happen, according to the Bible, the scripture, word of the Lord, it's gonna happen, man. So, and they, and like I say, the World Health Organization staff they are preparing for, people are preparing for it, But get some scriptures to back this up. Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second woe is, like I said, is World War II. You look into the history of that, and then World War III is, it's just the beginning of it. It's going to escalate to a full-fledged World War III, and it's going to be by way of the thermonuclear missiles. It's going to be a nuclear war. It's not going to be no long, drawn-out campaign. This is going to be, those missiles fly, like I say, Lord Yahushua is in control of that. When those missiles begin to be shot, I say this ain't gonna be like, say, boots on. It ain't gonna be like a lot of. It's not gonna be like a conflict where this army and this army going at each other and so forth, like a long drawn out war, battling on ground. No, this gonna be by way of aerial war, thermonuclear missile. And it's not gonna be a long drawn out conflict, man. It's gonna be overdone, especially here in America. Babylon Great. This place, America, Babylon Great, it's gonna be destroyed, in World War III, by way of the thermonuclear missiles. And when the Lord Yahushua returns in the chariot, so-called UFO with the angels, to bring judgment on this place by the laser beams of the chariot, so-called UFOs. And then the thermonuclear missiles, it's gonna rain down upon America, Babylon the Great. Other countries are gonna get hit with missiles as well, but America, Babylon the Great, gonna get majority of the missiles. But go from there. Excuse me. Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So so this war, I said, this World War III is gonna be what by way of the thermonuclear missiles. It's not gonna be a long drawn out, like I said, campaign. Like I said, army going against army on the ground, and it's gonna be a long decade or so war. Now it's not gonna be that type of This gonna be, it's not gonna last long. No missiles we getting be shot, is over with. That nuclear missiles drop on us on a city or country, on cities and countries, it's done. It's over with. That country and the people in it is gone. Let's like say you got those ones that gonna be in the underground bunkers. It's gonna be the elites, the so-called white people, East Side mics, the ones that do escape gonna be the ones in those bunkers. But But they're going to go into slavery, though. Once the smoke clears, they're going to go into slavery. Once the smoke clears from the, the fire smoke clears from the thermonuclear missiles, from the war, and them, the ones, survive in the bunkers, gonna go into slavery. The Edomites, so-called white people, the elites, the ones that escaped the wrath, the ones that escaped the thermonuclear missiles, but they're not gonna fully escape because they gonna go into slavery. But go from there. This is 2nd Ezra 16:13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So these missiles, thermonuclear missiles, with the arrows are talking about the thermonuclear missiles, because the prophets back then, they visualizing and seeing these prophecies. Excuse me. Say that again. When the prophets were seeing these visions, of the times, seeing, what they were seeing, it looked like arrows to them, and their vocabulary was limited back then. But now, understanding now, the apostles and the elders of men, Lord, great men, thought they had his truth. They had his truth. The men, Lord, had his truth. We understand that this is talking about the arrows is talking about the thermonuclear missiles, being shot, So, so the arrows is talking about the thermonuclear missiles. It's gonna be shot towards the end of the world. What's the end? What's the ends of the world? America, America, Babylon the Great, and they're not gonna miss their mark. They ain't gonna miss their target. Cause like I said, Lord Yahushua is, the angels is full control of that. Those missiles being, is gonna hit their target. It's gonna hit. Every missile is gonna hit. Every missile warhead is gonna hit. Everything here in America, Babylon the Great, gonna be completely destroyed, burnt up, wiped out. This place is gonna be nothing but a desert once it happens, man. And like I said, and those people, like I said, the WHO, the World Health Organization, them people are preparing. It just tells you that, hey, we in those times going forward, hey, these prophecies is gonna happen. It gotta come to pass, it gotta happen, man. And like I say, the only ones gonna escape the rapid judgments and that thermonuclear missile fire, the second death, it's gonna be the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites, And you have people that think that, everybody gonna die, when it happens, or everybody gotta die, this and that. That's not true. Not according to the scriptures. That's how people they don't read the Bible, man. They don't study. They don't really believe like they say they do. Understand the word of the Lord. If they did, they would know that according to the scriptures, not everybody's not gonna die. You're gonna have those that are gonna be preserved until Lord Yahushua, return and be delivered. And those that, die before Lord Yahushua returns, and before those thermonuclear missiles begin to be shot, you're gonna have those that died, in his faith, gonna be raised up, and those that remain gonna be taken up with them, those that remain, was preserved by Lord Yahushua to be delivered before those thermonuclear missiles come raining down America, Babylon the Great. Gonna be beamed up into those chariots, so-called UFOs. So, but I just want to go into that. Hey, hey, it's like every day, man. Things happening and more news and stuff, and man, me myself first and foremost, hopefully, I'm probably righteous number to escape the rapid judgment of Lord Yahweh Shai in these times and going forward, man. And those that believe, in the Lord Yahweh Shai, that hopefully, He have mercy, and be delivered from His wrath and judgments, in these times and going forward. So with that, hope this was edifying. Again, like our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakadash, to the apostle elders, to the Sisakian brothers, to the few Aqua sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahushua. Keep fighting with that, say Shalom.